What's up guys, Mark here. In today's video, I'm going to give you my honest feedback on a really cool and interesting plugin for Final Cut Pro called Dehancer. Dehancer was gracious enough when they reached out to me and they simply just wanted me to try out the plugin and provide some feedback regarding my personal experience. So in this video, my feedback will be from the perspective of a new content creator that is not an experienced colorist.
He ain't lying.
Anyway, or anywho, I'm going to try to cover 4 specific areas. Number 1, what is Dehancer, or what does it actually do? Number 2, a quick tutorial on how to use it with before and after footage. Coming in at number 3, who is Dehancer for, or who would use this? And last but not least, number 4, the summary or my thoughts on Dehancer. With all the jibber jabber out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the video. All right, coming in at number 1, what is Dehancer and what does this plugin do? Dehancer is a software plugin that emulates the classic look of film for our modern day digital cameras. Now hear me out. I'm not talking about Nintendo Game Boy emulation. I'm talking about maybe like some John Carpenter's The Thing type emulation. And it does a heck of a job recreating or emulating that film look. Unbeknownst to me, some of the movies that I have just recently seen have been shot on film. The movie Nope, Knock at the Cabin, Jurassic World Dominion, Don't Look Up, and A Quiet Place Part 2. Do you guys notice a trend here? All of these movies are recent, but the DP chose to shoot them on film. I wonder why.
'Cause they make me feel good.
Dehancer is a software tool that everyday content creators can use to achieve the same look in our projects as some of the most iconic film directors that we know in the industry today. Also, real quick, Dehancer has what is called the Colourist Awards. This is a great place for people that are into the alchemy side of Dehancer and want to share your creative projects with other experts and be celebrated for it. They have 5 areas of nominations, and I personally feel this is a great place for other colorists to showcase their work. Let's go ahead and pop the hood on this product and fiddle around with the dainty bits a little bit. Dehancer offers plugins for the most common editing software suites and step-by-step setup guides to help you along the way. After you have installed a plugin, we can jump right into Final Cut Pro. Okay, step 1. With a clip on the timeline, first we need to adjust the exposure. From the waveform Luma channel, bring down the shadows just above 0 and the highlights almost to 100. Adjust the midtones to your liking. Step 2. From effects, film emulation, drag Dehancer right on top of the clip or the adjustment layer. You should notice an immediate color shift right out the gate. Real quick note, Dehancer suggests that the plugin should be placed dead last in the effects chain. And this is why I made the exposure correction first. Step 3, click on the video inspector and Dehancer should be listed as one of the effects. From the Dehancer plugin, select source. Choose your camera. For vendor, select whatever your camera's vendor is. Mine is Sony. All of the big boys are in there. No Fisher Price listed here. Where it says camera, select your camera model. I have the Sony FX3
Alpha.
and the Sony A7 IV. Where it says format, you want to select your log format that you use. I'm currently using slog3 sgamut3.cine. Bam! Just like that, you're presented with another color shift. Now that's cool. Check it out. If you toggle the effect on and off, you can already see the significant changes that Dehancer has already made to the clip. Dehancer has a truck ton of features available in this plugin. But in this video, I wanted to show you a quick and dirty way to get this plugin going ASAP. From the perspective of an absolute beginner, I found that these areas are a great place to start with the Dehancer plugin. Input, film, expand, and film grain. Input is what got us here, and it's the very first steps that we performed. The film setting is the engine that drives Thomas's tank. Dehancer grants the common man, by way of film profiles, access to film stock that big-time movie producers have. Kodak Vision 3 500T is in there. Oppenheimer and Ready Player One were shot on that film stock. Just by selecting different film profiles, you can, with a single click, get a different look to your footage. This feature should not be underestimated, as some of the most iconic filmmakers use specific types of film in their projects for a reason. Now content creators from all walks of life can get the same look by selecting a Dehancer film profile and yanking or pushing and pulling on a few sliders. After playing with the plugin, you're going to find that you have a certain preference. I personally like this set of film profiles, but please yank and pull on the levers under film to your heart's desire. Or you can do a quick Google search of what film stock the big dogs use and use them. Then let's talk about the expand setting. The expand setting is what I use to tweak my exposure after adding Dehancer. Adjusting the black point adjusts the shadows, while adjusting the white point tweaks the highlights. Now let's talk about film grain. Film grain is definitely the hot sauce that Dehancer sprinkles on your footage. I like toggling it on and off to see the effect. The intensity of the film grain can be increased and decreased by selecting a higher or lower ISO profile. Now here's a couple observations. Dehancer does have a lot of settings, so if you like to tinker, you'll be blessed with tons of options to change the look of your footage. Now if you want an easy button, you can go ahead and try my workflow out. But if you're feeling froggy and brave, you can bust open Pandora's box and sit in there for days and hours messing with these settings. I also did want to mention that the plugin can possibly tax your system, but Dehancer does mention that in the manual. I personally have an M1 Mac and did not notice any performance issues in my testing. All right, so in summary, Dehancer is a software plugin for Final Cut Pro and a few other editing software suites that emulates film. Dehancer has a ton of settings for any tinkerer or experienced colorist to fiddle around with. But the addition of film profiles is almost like an easy button for novice colorists like myself. After trying out the Dehancer plugin, I have to admit, I really do like it. And if you're interested in trying it out also, I've added a link in the description below that'll get you 10% off. Dehancer offers multiple ways to purchase the product, which I feel is a great idea to allow the customer to cherry pick what they want after evaluating the product. And with that being said, I hope you guys got value out of this video. And go ahead and give Dehancer a test drive. You might like it. I did. Mark out.
Oh, you get